beasts, aren't they? Chuffed to bits. The smallest little thornback rat. No, I'll just concentrate on not leaving the rod over the side. And its eyes. It's got amazing eyes. Doggy in the boat. Golden mullet. There's a bit of weight to that, you know. And that's what we want, don't we? We don't want the same all the time. We want something different, a good old show. Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm on the beach, beavering away, in the first time in what feels like a long time since I last filmed on the beach. It's cold, 4 degrees, so it's like standing in your fridge. I've got my big quilted suit on, I've got one rod in the water, and I'm fishing. I'm fishing Century Fire Blades, Daiwa HT Millionaire Magda multipliers, 60-pound shock leader, and I've got a variety of pulley rigs, squid and black lug wraps. All pre-prepared, all in their pack. Let's have a look. I've just baited up and put one on the rig that's out now. The aim of the game tonight, because it's cold, is to keep my hands as dry and warm as possible. My body's warm, my hands are already cold. What's the plan? Well, I'm expecting it to turn into a ting fest. No bones about that. I'm expecting tings. I'd like a cod. That's the reason why there's black lug and squid wraps. A codlin, 3 to 6 pound, is the sort of stamp that if they're here, they are catchable. It's not particularly deep water here either. But it's night time, December, cold. We've had a few days where the water's been stirred up. All the signs of what is possible. I'm excited. I'm so easily excited. I'm only fishing one rod. It's a bit of a prospect rod, just see if I get tinged out. Also, I don't want to burn through my bait too early. I don't want to peak too soon. High water's at 9:45. I'm going to carry on, rig the other rod, rig it, get a line on it, get everything loaded, ready to go, but I'm not going to put bait on it. I'm not going to fire it out just yet. I think once it starts, once the tings get into it, it's going to be a bit of a ting fest, and they'll strip bait really quick. All reports that I've heard from this area are the slack of high. So I've got a couple of hours until that. So I'm going to fish gentle and then ramp it up nearer to high water. That's the plan. We'll see how we get on, eh? I'm like a wet sponge. I peaked too early. I put out the second rod. I couldn't resist it. Just as I was rigging it, I got an interesting bite on the first rod. More like a pull. Not like a jangle, like a ting bite, or like a heavy cod bite, or even like a ray position itself bite. It might have been an eel actually, thinking about it. But I've already had to rebait the first rod. It's cold, my hands are burning. Because I've got so much clothes on this way, around my core, they're pumping blood around my body. My hands are almost steaming when I'm touching the water. They are absolutely red hot. But it's all good. Got my hat on, got my big suit on. I've already had a bite, so there's life out there. Loving it. Out on the beach. There is no one else as far as I can see in either direction. And we say this, don't we, on the channel? If you're a regular viewer of the channel, it's either genius or madness. Either everyone else has gone, I'm not standing in the fridge for 3 hours to catch nothing but tings. I don't mind. Or no one else has thought about it and I'm a bit balmy, you know? I don't know. I'd like to think that maybe someone else would turn up at some point. 2 rods rigged, in the water, soaking baits, and I'm fishing. It's good stuff. Right, camera off, lights out, rod tips. That's what I need to do. We'll have a bit of a chat in a bit. Especially because I haven't been very well. Sort of on the mend. Not 100% yet. Had that COVID stuff. Didn't hospitalise or anything like that. It wasn't that serious. But it did knock me off my feet a little bit. Really, really tired. So I'm loving tonight. Fresh air, outside. I'm well past all my, I'm a week past my isolation and I am on the mend. But love being out on the beach. Winter fishing. Can't beat it. Absolutely love it. It's cracking. The reels of choice for tonight are the Millionaires, which I did mention earlier on. Stunning looking things. Cast really well. A little bit fragile for my liking though. I like them a bit more butch than that. But definitely nice things. I bought that pair second hand off of FaceBay. Just giving them a run out. I've used them a couple of times. I like using them. They just feel a little bit delicate for my chubby mitts. Get an inquiry on the right rod, but it looks like the wrong kind of inquiry. It looks like a ting rattle. Some tings better than no ting. It's a bit early to be starting to get pestered by the plague of tings that might be out there. But something's found the bait. That's a big bait on there as well. Big bait, big hooks. Looks like it started. The tings have arrived. See if I can catch something decent before these tings strip all my bait. I'm pre-prepared bait tonight, so once it's gone, it's gone. I'm not preparing because I'm keeping my hands warm and dry. That's the aim of the game tonight. Speed of fishing, i.e. keeping a bait in the water, 3 rigs in rotation. So I've always got one baited up, ready on the tripod. Reel it in, unclip, clip, back out. Clean the other one up, bait it up, put it back on the tripod. That's what I'm doing. Let's see if it works. Maximum time fishing. No fish yet though. So the first fish of the evening, a sprightly little ting. He's almost translucent. Massive eyes, small teeth, big paddle. A pain in the but yeah, broke the duck, saved the blank. I'll get him back in. Pre-prepared baits helping me keep my hands dry, clean and warm. Keeping them warm, yeah, it's working well actually. They're burning through my bait. I wanted to see one because they're chomping away at it. I'm not changing my rigs, I'm going to stick with the big hooks, big baits. Because if there's small tings, I'm hoping there's codling eating them. If I catch a really small one, I'm going to put it out as a live bait. But to do that, I'd have to go down in hook size. It's that, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Down in hook size, chance it for some small tings, catch some live bait. I've got a bucket of water, so I could keep them alive. But yeah, baited, weighted, and chucked back out. Clean that rig up. That ting was on the short pulley rig. So that is the length of it. It's almost like a bolt rig, because then there's the stop a couple of inches away, so you can take about 2 inches and then he's into the weight, and you can see the state of the bait of what he's done. Single hook on that one. That's a size 3L I think. I'm using 5-ounce grip weights. Tide's not too bad tonight. I bought 6s as well. Haven't needed the 6s, and I like an imp. That rig on an imp, you can see how short that is. Is that 12, 15 inches? Quite a short pulley rig that. Yeah. Sort this out and get it on the tripod ready for the next one. But there is life out there, but it's small. It's a teeny ting. Teeny tiny ting, and it's ting season, so we've got to fish through these to find anything else. But fish number 2, just not the target species. We know we're going to have to fish through these bad boys. I'll keep at it, and hopefully we'll improve on size, eh? To be fair, they're teeny tiny tings as well. They're not even keeper size. They're not even fish cake making size. I don't mind a decent sized ting. I quite like whiting as a fish, as an eating fish. It's very delicate. It's a nice eating fish. Not as fashionable as some of the other fish I know. I quite like it. Keep my hands dry, keep my hands warm. Right, bait up and chuck out. That was on the 3 foot pulley rig with size 3.0 hooks and a thumb size bait. So the 4 and 5.0 hooks that were holding the whole squid lug wrap, they're too big for those. We've got about an hour till high water. I'm going to start fishing a bit harder now, swap onto bigger baits, stick with the bigger hooks. I know the tings are there, they're picking at my baits. I'm hoping for something else. Wish me luck. Oh, this one's a bit lively, this one. Much better stamp of fish. Big old paddle. Tingy sharp teeth. Yeah, still not the target species, but welcome under. He gave me a weird bite. He went like the clappers and then swam towards me, and then he went off again after he was near the beach. Get this one back in. I'm about a quarter of an hour away from high water. 3-4 tings, loads of ting bites. The big baits are getting stripped back to little baits coming back. I'm putting fresh baits out, big baits. About 6-inch long squid with black lug wrapped. Tings are just gnawing away at it. All of a small size, quite telling that the tings are all fairly small. The witching hour. We talk about it all the time. This is when I'm getting excited. Got to keep an eye on my rods. We're probably talking the next hour and a half up to slack, an hour of slack. When it starts to turn and move again, this is the time when, if I was to catch one, this is when I'd expect it. High tide, on the hunt, something big come along, snaffled it in. So I've changed tactics slightly. I'm fishing one fairly close in. By close in I mean 30 yards. Zooming one as far as I can, and the other one I'm just flicking out. Increases the chance of bass, or if the fish are coming in to feed and things are following them in, it's not all about getting it out. Sometimes the fish are at your feet. So I'm going to fish this hour now with one close in, one far out. See how we get on. Even though it's dark and it's difficult to film, I thought I'd try and show how I bait up the pre-prepared squid. Squid and black lug wrap. That's about a 6-inch long bait. I've got my hook snood with my pennel hook. Just going to move that completely out of the way. Just let it fall away, get it out of the way, get it done, get it safe. Going from what I class as the thin end, which is the top of the mantle of the squid. I'll sort of go in and then back out again. Pull the line through. Leave about a hook's distance. I'm going to get this in 3 times, I think. In and out again, feeding it through. And then position it towards the bottom where it's going to go in and out at a convenient position that you can just put up into, and your hook is going to sit at the bottom of the bait. So that's the first hook. Retrieve your pennel that you slid out the way, that I can't see because of the way the light is for the camera. Just trying to hook me in the finger. Bring it all the way back up. Look at the orientation of the hook, and I want to come out the opposite side of that. So I measure it up so it sits where you want it to sit. Take 3 turns, 1, 2, 3, in and back out. And when I made these, I put a wrap of elastic at the top. Try and catch that elastic. Tighten the rig up. And there we go. I'm not putting any more elastic on it. That is how it's going to be presented. Flowing around with the current. As the tide slackens off, it's just going to sit there. Something's going to come along. If it grabs the top end, it grabs a hook. If it grabs the bottom end, it grabs a hook. That's what's going out next. That is on a 3-foot pulley. Get it out. Get my hands nice and dry. My hands are burning. I've definitely got, it is cold tonight. Friend just popped down for a quick chat just then. Friend from work come down. Wife's watching telly, so he said, right, I'm off out. She probably thinks she's gone to see a lady woman. I said to her, you want a puff of perfume and a long blonde hair draped over you, and go back and see what she says. Come down for a chat and have a look. Watch me catch tings. Oh, speaking of which, there's another ting. He was in the bucket, recovering himself. I'm going to get him back in the water. It's all a bit of a ting fest tonight. But yeah, he was sat in the bucket. I like to have a bucket of water, because if you just chuck them in sometimes, they don't recover and they just float off belly up. You put them in a bucket of water for a while, they seem, as soon as you see them right, or if you give them a little knock and they do swim a bit, then they go back in. They go back in all right. They usually unhook okay. Pouting, on the other hand, don't have much joy with those. Very, very delicate fish to return. But tings are saving the blank tonight, but they're not the target species. Now's the time. Tings are working hard to strip my baits. It's just a case of rebait, fresh, put out, ting, strip it. Just got to keep putting the baits out there and hope that you can fight your way through. Starting to get double shots now. Double shots of tings. Double shots of tings. Let me get these back in. They've been in the bucket. So I fished through the tide. It's been a ting fest. Didn't expect much else, to be honest. Just got to hope, haven't you? Just got to hope. Just got to keep putting the baits out there. And if it happens, it happens. It's not going to stop me coming back, because I know they do come out of there. Did they come out of here tonight? There's fishing. It's not catching. So all that leaves for me to say is goodbye for now. Until the next time, from me, from here, for now. Tight lines, happy fishing, and I'll see you again sometime soon. Bye for now.